And with this episode, the next generation breaks the record and surpasses the original series of Star Trek in number of episodes created. This one is episode number 80, and it is called Legacy. It originally aired on October 29th, 1990. It was written by Joe Menosky and directed by Robert Shearer. Now, the episode begins when an escape pod from a damaged Federation freighter lands near the colony on Turkana 4, which was the same colony that Tasha Yar escaped from many years ago. Now, because of Tasha's reports of anarchy in the colony, an armed away team beams down to rescue the men in the pod, and the away team meets a raiding party from the Coalition. It and the other major faction, the Alliance, vie for control of the colony. And after the raiding party takes the away team to their headquarters, the leader of the Coalition claims that the Alliance holds the men and will demand a ransom for them. Now, once the away team returns to the Enterprise, the leader of the Coalition contacts the Enterprise, and he offers the free services of one of his people as a show of good faith. And that person turns out to be Ishara Yar, who is Tasha's sister. Now, Ishara soon wins the confidence of the crew, and she devises a plan to rescue the men from the freighter. Unfortunately, all the members of the Alliance and the Coalition carry proximity detectors implanted in their bodies, and if Ishara beams down with the away team to rescue the men, her proximity detector will set off the alarms. Now, Dr. Crusher removes the proximity detector, and the away team beams down. While Riker, Data, and Worf free the men, Ishara suddenly disappears, and she heads for one of the Alliance's main fusion generators and sets it to overload. Now, when Data finds her, he questions her actions, and he realizes her help was merely a ruse to gain her access to the Alliance's defenses. Now, Riker stuns Ishara, and Data resets the generator, and with the hostages safely returned to the Enterprise, Picard beams Ishara back to the Coalition, and that is the end of the episode. Now, this episode is one that at least Michael Piller says that he really enjoyed. He really liked the performance of the girl in it, who was played by Beth Toussaint, and the relationship between her and Data. As you can see in this picture, they kind of develop a friendship. And really, Data, for the first time, really experiences a person who is not completely sincere in what they do. He feels like she genuinely wants to be his friend and wants to help them, but it turns out that she has her own ulterior motives. And there's a good scene at the very end of the episode where Data questions, is it better than not to trust anyone, because you never know what people's true intentions are. And it's pointed out to Data that, risk is part of the game when you're entering relationships, because there's always the chance that it might not work out. So you have to know that going in, and the rewards are, a lot greater than the risk, because relationships are what makes us human. So that's a big part that Data really realizes about humanity. So that's a great part of the episode. Michael Piller also says that even though he enjoyed the show, it's not one that doesn't really stick with him, that he doesn't always remember. And I kind of have to say the same thing. I know I've watched this episode, and I watched it again recently, but I didn't really remember a whole lot about it. There is action in it, and there is entertainment, but I don't quite know the reason why it doesn't stick in my mind much. Perhaps because Ishara was not a recurring character after this, and because it turned out that she wasn't a sincere person, and in the end, she wasn't somebody that we could root for, because she had her own agenda there. But she does say at the end of the episode that her feelings of friendship for Data, they weren't all made up, that she really had those. And we have to either believe Ishara and that she was sincere about that, or perhaps she's just saying something to not completely hurt Data's feelings if he had any. So, yeah. So I thought this was an episode that I enjoyed a lot better the second time, but it wasn't one that is really in my top 10 of the series, and probably not my highest one of the season either. So that's my opinion on it. Comment below on what you think about this episode, and also, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I will see you guys next time.